Hi, this is Gary. Glad you could join me on this first version of StoryVlog. And the reason that we're doing these is to be able to pass on the things that God has shown me and taught me through many years of ministry and continues to show me and continues to reveal more of himself to me. And I want to be able to pass that on to you, and that hopefully you'll be able to pass that on to other generations of leaders that will follow and pursue God after you. I see throughout the scriptures, and especially the Old Testament, where godly men, strong godly men, doing miraculous things for God, and yet their kids and the generations after them no longer pursue God. And in fact, they're antagonistic towards him. And I just want to see that change. I want to make a difference in the generations to come, so that you can take what I've learned and be able to pass that on to other leaders and to the children that God has you ministering to. Probably the theme verse for all of this comes from Psalm 71, and it goes like this. It goes, "Oh God, you have taught me from my earliest childhood, and I constantly tell others about the wonderful things that you do. Now that I am old and gray," and yes, I've got plenty of gray, "don't abandon me, oh God. Let me proclaim your power to this new generation, your mighty miracles to all who come after me." I want the next generation to truly know God, and not know from the head, but know as it's written in the Hebrew is called yada. And yada basically means it's dedicating yourself to a person so we can engage them in love and affection. It's faithfully living out our covenant relationship with the Lord in every area of our life. So when we're talking about getting to know God, that the generations to follow will actually know him, it's that deep personal relationship. It comes from every part of our being. We want our kids to be able to have that as well. So for today, in every one of these story vlogs, I'll probably do some form of Bible story and be able to share a story with you or a verse. And I think today would be appropriate just to share probably the verse. It's my life verse. It's one of the first verses that I memorized when I came to Christ many years ago. And it comes from Proverbs 3, 5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths." And I've had to learn that through the ups and downs of life, to trust him, to know that he's faithful and true, that he is who he says that he is. And I have to do that with all of my heart, that knowing that my whole being, physically, spiritually, emotionally, to really know God and to trust him, to recognize that what he says in his word is true, and how he lives that out through me gets carried out, that I get to know him in a very deep and personal way. So it's getting to know him in my heart, trusting him with all my heart, to lean not on my own understanding. And that's really hard in our day and age, where we're taught to trust our thoughts and feelings and what can we accomplish? But really it's what can I accomplish through him? Through my knowledge of him and his revealing himself to me, that I'm not trusting in my own understanding. I'm trusting in his word. I'm being obedient to the Spirit as he calls me to do his work. In all my ways acknowledge him, in daily life, whether it be just going to the grocery store or being in front of a group of people, ministering to kids and telling them a Bible story. In all my ways, acknowledge him, recognize that he's there, give testimony to his faithfulness and to his goodness, and then he will direct my paths. And I'll be able to share more in weeks to come. The paths that he's taken me on, I never would have dreamed of. I never would have thought that he would take me to the places that he's taken me. I never would have thought I would be doing the ministry that I'm doing, but because I allowed him to direct my paths, it's been a tremendous ride, if you want to call it that, a journey. To be able to follow and pursue him as he's directed my paths. There's also another verse in the Psalms that talks about that as I'm going down those paths, that he's right there whispering. If I lean to the right or to the left, I'm veering to the right or the left, he's there whispering, keep me on the path that he has for me. So I have to listen. It's all about listening and obeying. There's that song, "Trust and Obey." There's no other way. And that's what I'm learning. And that's what I have learned and continue to learn, to trust and to obey him. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Thanks for joining me. There'll be more to come in the weeks to come. And probably next week I'll do a Bible story first, and then be able to share what God has revealed to me through all of that. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.